Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sally, joined by my co-host, Katie. We're identical twin sisters. We invite you to join us as we investigate our similarities and differences in all things life has to offer. Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sally.
And I'm your other host, Katie.
Welcome in, everyone. Katie's little light that shines on her face is flickering, and it's driving me bonkers. But it's not the only thing that flickered. When I walked into Katie's house 10 minutes ago, I literally walked into a pitch dark house because, you know, she doesn't use lighting, but she has a little, tiny dim lamp in the corner. And I shouted, "Hello, house!" And it flashed back at me. It's like alive. It's like Encanto.
That would be amazing. But it's all good.
I don't know.
Oh, speaking of communication through lights, did you finish
Oh my God.
A Good Deed on Netflix?
Is it called A Good Deed?
Or
No, I think No Good Deed.
No Good Deed.
Oh my God. I cried like a baby.
No spoiler alerts, but there's some communication.
No spoiler alerts.
Some communication through some lights in that show, and it's really sweet.
Oh my God. I was like more than halfway through that show and was like, where is this going? I don't get why isn't it coming together? And then the last episode and a half, me and Adam were just like silent tears in our eyes. Like it was so emotional, but so good.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, highly recommend that. So anyway, today it's a very rainy day. I do think that we should do a shout out to the world in general because California is dealing with the fires.
Yeah.
Up north is dealing with incredibly cold fronts. I mean, Florida is also dealing with cold fronts, but it's not deadly or anything.
Yeah.
But my heart is with everybody who's affected by the fires for sure, or anyone struggling just in general because of natural disasters or anything, honestly.
Or anything, yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
there's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah. And remember last time we traveled to California, you could still see trees that had burnt down from the previous fires. So it's just sad to think of what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Which is pretty heartbreaking. But anyway, let's move on to better news because the world needs it right now.
I know. Well, I guess the fact that we're in Aquarius season could be hopeful for some because it's about community and going against the grain and coming up with new solutions to existing problems. You know, I just think that if anything, that could be really powerful for us.
Aquarius, they're just the best people.
No, I mean, it's
they're
about
going to promote
the
world peace.
the collective working together. I don't know. I'm trying to stay positive.
Katie's just throwing Aquarius out there as the best sign ever because we are Aquarius sons.
Well, we're in Aquarius season.
I know. No, I agree. Aquarius, I listened to a whole podcast and damn it, I wish I could remember what it was called. I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
But she described all the traits of an Aquarius. And I just found it so entertaining because I'm an Aquarius sun, Adam's an Aquarius moon, Susie's an Aquarius moon. So I love to hear those traits and be like, is this correct? Is this right? But they are known for being forward thinkers and thinking outside the box and being very much finding solutions for people to come together.
Yep.
So I'm just hoping that, this is going to be a great season for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Aquarius.
Woo-hoo. So Sally's still off of the social media.
See, now Katie's mentioning it every time.
I'm just saying it as I still have to, keep up on the current events through social media because Sally's not.
I'm also off I'm off social media and off wine, which I love wine, but Katie basically told me one bottle of wine was in Weight Watchers world, a whole day's worth of food. And I was like, oh my God, that's disgusting. So now you ruined it for me. I look at a bottle of wine and I just see lard.
Oh, well.
It's so sad.
Yeah. No, I'm on Weight Watchers, and I am such a Weight Watchers stan.
Katie loves the Weight Watchers.
Anyways, I love wine more than I love Weight Watchers, and I now know how much I was consuming, and basically the amount I was consuming was equal to an entire day's worth of food, and that just blew my mind. And now I haven't had
I can't look at it the
I
same.
haven't been able to enjoy it since.
You know, when mom like raised us to think whole milk was like literally lard in a cup. Like she was like, whole milk, it's like all the fat of the cow, which I don't even
Which is
think
such
this
a
is
weird
this is
thing.
not even
Yeah.
real. That's probably not real, but we were also raised on like lean cuisine and slim fast, you know, those times.
Oh
But
my
I
God,
remember
yeah.
she said she never bought whole milk because of that, and she always got a skim milk, which my dad would be like, that's basically like water. What's the point of buying it? Anyway, for this reason alone, when I see whole milk, even though all babies need to be on it eventually, like when they're 2 and 3 and stuff, they all go on it. So we buy it in our house. I can't drink it because
Yeah.
mom like made it so disgusting for me.
I mean,
It's like a mind fuck. And that's what you did with me for wine.
well, yeah.
I'm so upset about it.
I know. But the thing is,
and this is for anyone who's actually very nutritional, they're probably like, well, duh, like how the fuck didn't you know
but this
that?
is just about calorie deficit and limiting portions. It's not a diet that's going to be like, oh, nutritionally this is fine for you. It's counting points. So I would love to find the study that's like a bottle of wine a day keeps you alive. Like I'd love to find that and rationalize.
Well, yeah, your phone's probably listening, so you'll find it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd love to find that and rationalize my wine intake, but I just, with this system and counting points and all that, it really doesn't justify it, because essentially it makes sense for me maybe to have a glass a night, but I don't know about you, but I don't stop at one glass. If I have one glass of wine, I have 2 glasses of wine. And if I have 2, so
not everyone's
it's
like
more
that, but
it's more purposeful and important for me just to not indulge.
this sounds like
And my
a confession of an addict.
No,
like,
totally.
I can't give in just once because I cannot stop.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I was listening to Tom Holland. Is Tom Holland? Yeah, the Zendaya's fiance. Okay. I was listening to him and he said he did dry January, and I'm going to get this wrong, but you can look up the interview.
Yeah, I've seen this.
And then he said that he thought about alcohol all the time during that amount of time, and so he said, oh, I'm just going to try to make it to my birthday. And then by his birthday he was still, I think, thinking about alcohol, like too much, where he's like, maybe I have a problem. So he said, I'll give it till the summer. And I'm making up some of this, you have to look it up, but by the time it got to the summer, which was like 6 months from when he originally started, he was the happiest he'd ever been in his entire life, and he was like, it's not worth it, like I'm not going back now, like I'm going to move forward.
See, that's how I feel about social media.
Yeah, so then I was like, you know what, I like that idea that if you're thinking about it, maybe take more time away from it.
Yeah Well, that's a good point. I went to my physical recently yesterday with a new OB, and I was so impressed. Like, I loved her. Did you know that there are some OBs that don't make you put your feet in stirrups when you get checked out?
No.
It was amazing.
How do they check you out if they can't?
She literally was so new age. Like, I think she was like our age. But she like was telling me about BRCA testing, like to see if like you carry a breast cancer gene.
Can we go back to the stirrups?
Okay, so anyway, I was like,
are they called stirrups?
yes,
because that's like a horse thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, we're like animals on that table. Well, I was like sitting bare butt, bare back on the table or whatever. No, bare chest, not bare back. Anywho, okay, so anyway, I was like, oh, I hate this part. So she's like, scoot your booty down or whatever. And then she's like, don't worry, we don't do stirrups here. She just like pulled out like a step type thing and said to put my legs there.
Yeah.
And it was so much less awkward.
Really?
The stirrups make me go so wide.
But I mean, I feel like that gives them the best view.
I was happy with this.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Well, anyways, we should get into a topic, because I feel like people must fast forward through the first 10 minutes of our podcast, because we go off on so many random stories.
Yeah, you do that.
No, it's you.
Okay, so debatable topic. I was just thinking about Icks, because I don't want to say why, because that kind of gives my stance away, but maybe I should just dive into it.
I mean, what is there to debate, though?
Do you still get icks when you're like madly in love with somebody? Like, or do the icks end? Because like when you're dating someone
Yeah.
and you get an ick and
Mhm.
it's like you can't get that out of your head. And
Yeah.
every time they do it, you're like, ugh, I'm breaking up with them. Like it's more of an indicator you're going to break up with them.
Yeah.
When you're married or in a long-term commitment, do you get icks still? Or is it like love surpasses all?
I get icks still, but I also think that because you love them so much, you have to find the humor in them.
Okay, so you've been married and you're in like a decently like a longer relationship now, I would say.
Yeah.
So you still get icks?
Yeah.
Were any of them ones that you noticed right away and you were just like, can I put up with this or not?
No, because the ones that you notice right away, that's why you don't.
Those are red flags.
Those are so the thing. You know what? It's so
Like,
funny.
what's an ick that you see right away and you're like, hell no. I know
I had
one.
what?
Being rude to the wait staff.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you haven't been, oh yeah, if you feel like you're superior to any wait staff, that's an ick.
Yeah.
But
That's like a red flag. No, no, no. You're never going to be my husband.
this is so I have so many because I've gone on a lot of dates.
I know. I want to talk about those, but I mean, I want to get to both sides.
But the thing is, like, it's really what rules you out from going on another date is you get an ick and you're like, I can't get over this. So, for example, and sounds so stupid, but it was an ick and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's like where your unconscious brain goes, where you're like, ugh, turn off. I went to dinner. I went to dinner with somebody and it was a fine first date. But he had talked about, I think, having a sensitive stomach like while you're at dinner, which also is like first date. Why do I need to know this? But then after we were done eating, he asked if he could eat the rest of my meal. And I was like, sure, yeah, go for it. But I was thinking, that gave me the ick.
Really?
Like, we're on a first date and I didn't eat all my food and you want to eat the rest of it?
Interesting.
It gave me the ick. I didn't like it. It was weird.
I wonder why.
Like
why?
But
I mean, I don't like a guy who eats.
Oh no, because I mean, a normal person would be like, "Oh, you should box it up so you have food for later." Or I don't know. The fact that he just ate an entire meal and wanted more.
I want to know who this is. Well, did he pay for it? Did he pay for it?
I don't remember. Oh
my god, because like if you paid for it, then I'd be like,
oh, that's even worse.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, do you have money?
Worse. Yeah.
No, I was thinking you were gonna say the guy who had garlic wings.
Oh, so maybe No, I have so.
Was this the same guy?
No, this is a different guy.
Oh, okay.
But no, I feel like I have a lot of stories. So this guy and we went on 3 dates, I think, and I already. Oh, there's two icks about him. He's gonna know who it is if he ever listens to this.
By the way, can I just
what
say to people that are listening right now? We can see the location you listen from. So if there's one from X, Y, and Z, and we know you live there, we know you're listening. So if you're not a big fan of us, stop listening. Okay. I just had to say that because there's been a couple that I'm like, why is this person listening?
It's because haters love watching or listening more than
I honestly,
anyways,
I'm like,
so
what?
Anyways.
Okay, sorry. Okay, back to the conversation.
So the first ick I got with him was he said that his favorite genre of movie was horror, and I was like,
oh my god, there's another ick about him. I know it.
Okay. Oh, I don't know what it is. Wait,
can I say it?
Sure. I don't know what it is.
His favorite Disney ride.
Oh my gosh, what was it again? Oh yeah, it was Mission to Mars or whatever. What is it? Mission Space.
Yes.
Mission Space.
Which literally leaves you feeling dead.
People have literally died after ride. It's like not an enjoyable, comfortable ride. It's super uncomfortable. Anyways,
it's horrible.
His favorite movie genre was horror. And I was like, oh, like, so you watch a lot of horror movies. Like, yeah, he like explained how he loves like sitting home alone at night and just feeling scared. And he liked gruesome stuff. Like I was just like, there's something wrong with this person. And then the final ick was we had met up for lunch. I didn't eat because I think I was on, like, I had to get back to work or something. And so I was kind of in a hurry. So I just got like a Diet Coke or something. I don't know. It was weird. Honestly, at that point, I feel like I was meeting him knowing I was going to like say like, oh, I think we're just going to be friends. But it's so much harder in person, you know? So,
she was delaying it. She was waiting till she got home and could text him.
So then, yeah, right. So then after the lunch, I'm getting into my car and he like comes in for a kiss. And this guy ordered garlic wings at lunch. And the kiss was so gross and like I could taste the garlic. And then after that, I was just like, there's no way. There's no coming back from this.
Yeah, there's no coming back.
Like save that for year one or whatever, 6 months into the relationship, not first few days.
Like once I've had a kiss with you a couple times and know it's not just terrible every time.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so your current partner, Icks or no Icks? And how do you get past them when one presents itself?
Yeah.
I've had a recent one with Adam. He knows I have Icks. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he has Icks. He would say he doesn't, but I'm sure he does. Oh God, I can't even think of it. It's so gross.
Is this an ick or just something you're grossed out by?
It literally made me like I couldn't touch him for the rest of the day. He had like a booger coming out of his nose. Katie.
Oh my
God. It was so gross while he was driving, and like I'm disgusted. I literally can't. We were on our way to Disney, and I couldn't even get over it for like an hour. I was like, Adam, it was the grossest thing ever. Oh my God,
ew! I'm thinking about it now.
It was so gross, and I didn't even know boogers disgusted me so much because
you wipe your kids' faces
because
24/7.
Kids are like full of boogers, but I was just like, oh. I could not like kiss him that night, and the whole day I feel like I was like really cold. Like I couldn't get over this very human thing.
Oh.
But another thing that icks me, and he knows this. He actually told me to bring it up if we talk about this. He puts his wrists and hands a certain way, like when he drinks a lot.
Oh,
and it looks like little T-Rex arms, and. He just, I don't know why, but when he drinks a lot, his wrists go up like little T-Rexes sometimes. Like one will be holding a beer and the other one will be like limp.
Yeah.
And it drives me insane. I don't know why. Because I think it's just for me, it's my tell like you've had too much.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But also like it kind of looks like, I don't know, not manly.
I mean, the ick, I feel like though, is the definition of an ick something that would like turn you off enough where it's just like I can't anymore.
I mean, after the booger, I really did. I was so disgusted. But that's why I'm like, but you can get married and still have icks. I think that icks happen when you're married, but like, I don't know. It's way less.
I mean,
it's way less critical.
All the initial icks that turn you off about somebody, like they've gotten through all those tests. Like they're nice to the wait staff. They don't kiss you after eating like garlic.
I was thinking of this the other day. I met Adam when I would think I was 25 or 26. And we're about to be 36. So he's been in my life a decade. If those are like the two icks I can come up with, like that's pretty minimal.
Yeah.
Compared to like when you date other people and you're like, ick, 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 ick. Like so many icks.
Yeah.
You know? But I do think when you're married, you still have icks.
Yeah.
I mean, it just recently started for me, so maybe it's just like...
Well, no, you remember? So, and this is a good example because Taylor Swift is with Travis Kelce, but when he won the Super Bowl, he like screamed. What did he scream at the top of his lungs?
God.
Like he was singing or something?
No, he was like doing something really manly, like, fuck yeah.
No, I don't know
like,
what he was doing.
Acting like a wildebeest.
It went viral because her face
was like literally...
It looked like she was going through an ick moment. In like you could see it.
People like memes afterward were like, that's the end of Travis.
That is the ick.
Taylor.
And then the whatever Giggly Squad or whatever was like, to win the Super Bowl is kind of an ick. Like to be the best. Like they said something about that. And I was like, so I mean, even she's stayed with him, but like it looked like this moment of
might have ruined them.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I had a big, I would say a pretty big ick with everyone I dated. I don't like when people I'm dating talk and like they're like the best about something.
When they just talk.
When they talk. I actually like to do all the talking, specifically when we're in public places. No, when they're like, okay, so for instance, I've dated a couple of people in the restaurant business.
Mhm.
And when they talk and they're like talking to other people like they know everything, like I'm a wine connoisseur or
Yeah.
whatever, that is such an ick to me. And
Yeah.
I've had multiple boyfriends that were like that with certain subjects, and that is so gross to me.
Yeah.
Me and Adam had a fight early on because he does know a lot about wine. And one time he met one of my friend's dads and he was just like talking about wine. Like we were like he knew the most out of anybody. And I was like, Adam, never do that again. I was like, that was so, I don't like showboating.
It was like cringy.
I don't like, yeah, like you can know the most, but don't talk the most.
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot. We have a podcast.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's one of my icks.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I wish
There's just been so many of them.
I really wish that somebody could come on and say what icks we have. I actually do remember. I think that I icked out somebody I dated once because we were in the grocery store and at the time I was young and stupid and not focusing on anything. I probably wasn't even buying groceries. I probably just like went along with him. And you know those plastic baggies you have to open to like get fruit and vegetables? You know how like they're so impossible to open sometimes, like it won't unstick?
Yeah.
I remember I was there for like 5 minutes trying to open this baggie and I looked up at him and he looked so icked out. It's like, what? Like,
why can't you open
she open a freaking bag?
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I did ick him out then.
I did have somebody, and I'm not going to go far into any of these people because I just feel like we need to give these men grace. But I did have somebody who was packing their luggage at my house to leave, and there was a lock on their luggage on the zipper, and they couldn't figure out how to lock it. So it would like turn the code so it locks. And who the fuck locks their luggage anyways? Like nobody uses this feature, right? Anyways,
I wonder who does. Yeah.
They were freaking out about not being able to do this, and they called their mom to like get advice on how to do it.
Yeah, too close with the mom.
It was such an ick. I was like, this is such a non-issue, and you're acting like I can't travel.
A man who literally like is, where's the hammer?
Or like, who cares if it's locked? All you have is
clothes. Oh, well, because it was unlocked.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was thinking about this because I was listening to a song that basically was like alluding to the fact like you were the girl that got away, and I was like, I wonder if any of our exes, are you the girl that got away for any of your?
Nobody thinks that. Like, I honestly feel like I'm probably the story they tell where like, thank God I didn't end up with her.
I literally was thinking that. I was like, because it's such a good song, and I'm like, oh my God, I love this sentiment. Like, it's so fun to pretend like I'm the girl that got away. Like, I'm like, you left your hometown and left all those broken hearts. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I wish that was me. But I bet if every single person, friends and exes, ex-friends and ex-boyfriends, if they were in a room together, they'd be like, she is fucking psycho. She is terrible. I was like over her the next day.
I feel like to be the girl that got away, there's only one way it can be done.
How?
It's if it was okay, so I think there's two ways.
You didn't realize how good she was when you had her and you barely had her?
I feel like it has to be a short-term fling that never really materialized into a real relationship, and it's always going to be that what if. And or it was long distance, and when you met up, it was like honeymoon period, and you never got to get into reality. And so you've always thought, oh, what if?
But, no, Katie is making this so personal.
But I'm just saying, no,
this is like Katie's like one that got away.
I'm just saying, I do.
Oh, think really? That one that was all honeymoon? Which one was that?
Anyways, no, but I feel like that's the only way it works because otherwise you broke up for a reason. Like, how can it be?
How can it be the one that got away? Also, like, the one that got away, it's like, it is such a cute little saying, but it's just also like, why the fuck didn't realize that she was so good in the beginning?
Why'd you let them go?
Yeah, like, what were you doing that you didn't realize she was worth keeping?
Totally.
I think if I got away from Adam, I'd be the one that got away from him.
Like
Like,
In
he'd be
what
like,
sense?
she's the one that got away.
Adam would never break up with you.
No, he is so stage 5 clear. I tried to break up with him like 5 different times when we first started dating. And that was something that stood out to me about him. He doesn't go anywhere because I was in the habit where I'd always like leave relationships first. And I loved being a runner, and then they could chase me. Like, it was like a game.
Oh my God.
And most guys got fed up with me and were just like, sayonara.
Like,
I'm
goodbye.
not coming back.
Totally.
Adam just never went anywhere. He was always just like, okay, what are we
Like,
doing tomorrow?
Sally's doing this again.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's
she's just doing this thing again.
yeah, it's just something that's ingrained in her.
Yeah.
But look, he got it out of me. I don't try to leave anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't feel like the one that got away is a real thing, because the reality is, if you cared that much, you wouldn't have let them get away.
Yeah, and
So-
as you guys learned last episode, sometimes the one that got away, it's not all it's cracked
He's
up
a
to be.
psychotic human being.
No, it's like, don't meet your heroes. They
Oh,
always say no,
1000%.
never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Maybe that one that got away it's like a blessing you didn't get to date, because then you know the real. The real.
It's honest. It's the one that got away because you don't have enough information. You're filling
Yeah.
in all the gaps with your imagination.
They haven't wounded you to the core yet.
Yeah, and you're just visualizing best case scenario.
Yeah, but no one's that beautiful on the inside.
That's like kind of like a crazy thing to think about, though, is like no relationship is perfect.
Oh,
So
duh.
I know that, but like thinking that like everybody goes through, those icks in their relationship, or times when they're just like they live with this person, they know this person better than anybody, and they're still fed up with them, but like,
You know what would be
you make it through.
the hardest probably life to live would be pretending that nothing icked you out, or like just pretending everything was always perfect.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's toxic positivity. I have some people I follow on the whatever Instagram, and not like all their posts are so overtly positive, and which is great, but then at the same time, when they say something or say something, they'll do an additional post after that fact, because you can tell they're so paranoid about being judged.
Aww.
That they'll be like, oh, I actually didn't, I understand that this could be problematic, or I misspoke when I said this. And I was like, to get to a place, because you're just bringing joy into the world, you're really trying to, at least. So to get to a place where you can do that without apologizing for how it's delivered, I think is a really good goal for so many people.
Yeah, I know for sure. I think I used to be, probably at least 5 years ago, I was like so toxic positivity, only put out positivity. But as we've gotten older and evolved, I just feel like there's so much beauty in like the ups and downs. And
Yeah.
it's also how you connect with people the best. Like, we have such a good group of moms that are just so honest about everything. And it's like, oh God, that is rich for your soul. Like, to
Yeah.
have that around you. But I do think in motherhood, it takes a couple years, because you want to pretend everything's fine at first because you're like, I don't want to take this for granted. But in general, in life, I think people get more real as they get more comfortable with themselves, and like more confident with their relationship. Because when I used to be like, everything's perfect, I think that I was really trying to prove something to friends or his family. And then now it's just so freeing to be like, no, there's ups and downs, and it's great. We love each other still,
Yeah, I agree. And I know that I did the same thing.
Oh my God, your relationship that you went through a divorce with, you would, like, if you looked at her on Instagram, I could see her aura, so I knew it was dark. But everybody else probably was like, wow, it's perfect.
I don't know if anybody thought that, though, because we really did not hide the fact we were fighting all the time, but we did post a lot, probably.
You also covered it up to be like, this is our fiery spirit, like, type thing.
It's so bizarre, because I know I did that, and I know
it's weird to look back on, because you would never do that now.
It's weird because I was so obsessed with my partner that, like, there's like two sides of it, because like I was essentially brainwashed myself to believe it. Like I really believed it was good, and it took getting out of it to realize how bad it was.
I think a lot of times that's how it goes with things. Like, you don't really realize it's as bad as it is, and then you get out, and then you're like, holy fuck.
Oh, I didn't know it could be like this. Yeah.
You know what we have next to me today? We have next to me the complete Life's Little Instruction Book. I don't like how they phrase that. Life's Little Instruction Book. This used to be our Papa's book, and it has life instructions in it. And I was thinking maybe we could pick a couple and see if these are actually legit or if they actually suck.
Okay.
So let's just turn to a page and see. So this is like a little coffee table book that it was my grandpa's. And I think it could be funny because I don't know what's in here. And it'd be so funny to see if there's something that's like really stupid or really good.
I don't think I've ever read it.
Do you have one?
That's my book.
No, I brought it over here.
Oh, okay. Oh. You know what? I do think I have it, but I don't know where it is.
I think Dad gave us each a copy.
Each has a copy,
Yeah. Okay. So, number 280 of Life's Little Instructions says, no matter how dire the situation, keep your cool.
Oh, I don't agree.
Keep your cool. Well, we're not the best at keeping our cool.
I think that...
Do you not agree, or you're just incapable?
I think sometimes you should freak out.
Like if something's on fire.
I think there are times that you should freak the fuck out. And honestly, I wish we could do it more.
Oh my God. Okay, well, can you give me a situation where it'd be beneficial to freak the fuck out? Because I know for a fact that Adam never freaks the fuck out, and it's always very helpful in the situation.
Yeah, I mean,
when I'm freaking out.
I don't know. I'm thinking about how many times like I've kept like a smiley, upbeat, bubbly like voice when talking to somebody that that doesn't deserve that presence, and I should just freak the fuck out.
Like get the fuck away from me. Because it doesn't say...
Walking home at night with creepy guys behind you.
And no matter how dire the situation, keep your cool.
If there is a man following you, you should freak the fuck out.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Like, I'm not walking calmly to my car. I am running.
Don't keep your cool.
Keys between my fingers.
And I'm screaming, I see you behind me! I see you behind me! No, I every time I go running, I literally envision every car that passes. I'm probably manifesting it. That's gonna come and abduct me, which is so funny because like we're 36 years old. Like, I don't think anyone's coming for us. Yeah. Like what a humble thing. Like, oh my God, people are coming after me when I run because I'm 36. No, not anymore probably. But I do think of that, and I always think like I have a decently loud voice, but we cannot scream loud for the life of us.
Oh, I don't know why. It's so crazy.
It's so weird. Like our voice caps out.
Yeah.
Like go, like it goes quieter. And I always think, holy shit, I'd be screwed because I can't scream loud.
So you should freak the fuck out.
Yeah, I would kill a bitch if they tried to abduct me.
I have a debatable topic that Sally's going to be like, I don't even know if you'll speak on it because it's controversial. But
no, I know where this is going.
Hi everyone, it's Sally. We're going to leave our story there for today and pick up next week on Twin Study After Dark. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, please rate, review, and subscribe. We'll meet again next week for more Twin Studies.